Today, we're gonna take a look at the Shimano Ultegra FD. So this reel is kind of a sleeper in Shimano's lineup. Shimano makes so many different reels in so many different price points, and this has kind of been a sleeper, at least from my perspective. It's not a super popular reel, but I think that's going to change. So in this video, we're gonna take a look at all the features, all of the specs of this reel. We're gonna get it in the hand and see how it feels as well, and then kind of close up with who might this reel be for, so stay tuned. So before we get into any of that, guys, please take a second, hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. It's the easiest way that helps us a ton. So if you enjoy our content, please subscribe down below. And with that, let's get right into it. So like I said, I think this reel has been a little bit of a sleeper in Shimano's lineup. Everyone knows the Noski, the Stradic, Twin Power, Stella, but there's so many reels that lay in between those, in those middle price points in between, and this is one of them. And I think this reel is going to gain some serious popularity, partially due to Shimano's price increase. Because the Stradic, was $219-ish, somewhere in that, depending on the sizing, and now it's $250, $260-ish, depending on the sizing. So this reel is about $180 to $200 depending on what size you're going with. It's offered in $2,500 through $5,000, and I think it just fits a really popular price point. What you get in the market for that $180 to $200 is, seems to be some of the best value out there. So I think this is going to gain some serious popularity. So this reel is in Shimano's core solid lineup. So reels like the Stradic are in this, the Twin Power FE, and the Stella, those are all core solid reels. So the name of the game with that lineup of reels is toughness. It's not the most lightweight thing in the world. It is very lightweight for what it is, but that's the MGL series. If you want ultimate lightweight, MGL series is your reel. You want toughness, core solid is your lineup. So let's start with the body of this thing. So we're getting a fully composite body. We're not getting a metal Hagane body. To get that, you got to step up to the Stradic. That's where the metal bodies begin with Shimano. But this body feels great. It feels super tough, super rigid. I don't think we're gonna have any flex issues here, and it helps keep things just a little bit more lightweight. Then the rotor on that body is a metal rotor. That's part of what makes the core solid series, is a metal rotor. So we've got that on here. It's super rigid. It adds a little bit of weight, but again, core solid. We're looking for toughness, and this thing has it. And the gearing system in that body is Shimano's Hagane gear. So it's a cold forged gear. So it's super, super solid. It's not cast. Things can get brittle when they're cast out of metal. So forging is really the best way to do this. And this is just Shimano's fancy process. You get extremely, extremely hard gears that last a very long time. And those gears are also cut with the Micro Module Gear 2 tooth pattern. So you're getting a smaller gear tooth. So between the main gear and the pinion, those things, lock together, mesh together on different axes. The pinion spins on the main shaft. The main gear, meshes this way next to the main shaft. So basically you're getting smaller gear tooth, so you have more gear teeth meshing together at any given time. This is a little opposite of what Daiwa is doing with larger gear teeth, but Shimano's gear teeth are smaller, so there's less load distributed per gear tooth than something with larger gears. That's how physics works. More things meshing together means less force per individual one. To me, that makes it sound like those gear teeth are gonna last a lot longer, and also that attributes to a very, very smooth reeling action, but we'll get into the full feel later on. We've also got X-Ship. Shimano is known for this. They've got it in just about all their reels at this point, but in the main shaft of the reel, it's supported with a bearing on the top and the bottom of the pinion. So basically, when you're under load, the main shaft, is right in the center of that spool. That's what the spool goes over. And under load, that might have a tendency to want to lean, which is going to throw gear alignment out of place, along with drag, and I'm assuming, and other things. So that bearing just really helps keep that main shaft centered no matter how hard you're pulling. An Infinity Cross in the gearing as well. So it's just a fancy proprietary coating on those to attribute to a smoother system as well. And we've got Infinity Drive as well, which is extra support through a low friction bushing for the main shaft, and also a proprietary treatment to the main shaft. But again, just ultimate smoothness is what we're accomplishing with that. Another thing here, moving on to the rotor, is the anti-twist fin. So you can see that little black fin just below the line roller, and that really helps keep line up on the roller. So applications for me is what I think of. It's applications when there's slack in the line. So I think of top waters, because when you're walking the dog back and forth, you got to have some slack to allow that lure, to throw left and right. If you're tight, that thing's just going to do this. this, so it's got to have a little bit of slack to be able to walk back and forth. Or in the freshwater application, bass stuff, you know, with drop shotting, you've got to have some slack in your line. So that's really where this comes into play. When you do have slack, that little fin keeps the line in the roller, so it doesn't fall back on the bail, so it doesn't get caught up onto the spool if you're not paying attention. So a little feature, but it's super nice to have. This reel is X-Protect as well to really make sure that water stays out of it. And if certain places water did get in, X-Protect helps get that water out before it damages anything. So super saltwater friendly. And finally, we do have a one-piece bail as well. This is becoming the standard on the market nowadays, but there's no little collar there where the bail meets the line roller. It is just one solid piece to make sure line doesn't get caught up anywhere. If it's on the bail, it just flows directly to the line roller very, very easily. So that's the main standouts, you know, features, technologies going on here. So let's get into the specs. So this reel comes in sizes of 1,000 all the way up through 5,000. So 1,000, 2,500, 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000. And the one I've got in my hand here is a 5,000. So all the specs are going to be specifically for this 5,000. This reel has a gear ratio of 6.2 to 1, has a max drag of 24 pounds. It weighs 9.7 ounces. It holds 260 yards of 20-pound braid. It retrieves 40 inches of line per crank, has 6 bearings, and in this size, this reel is $200. So now let's get it up in the hand and see how it feels. All right, so here we are on the hand, and this thing is gorgeous. It's this kind of cool gunmetal gray type color. I really like that color a lot, with some kind of clean, shiny gunmetal accents on the back there. The spool looks awesome. I love the relief cuts at an angle like that. I love that kind of off gold color. It's not a super bright, bold gold, but it's a really nice gold color. I mean, in my opinion, this is one of the best looking Shimano reels in their lineup. But let's get to the feel. Being the 5,000, this does have the power handle. It's only available in this 5,000 size, but nice rubberized grip. This is not my first go-to for handles. I really like the smaller sizes, but on a reel like this, it does make sense since it's a larger reel. You're probably going to be putting more cranking power on it, so they just allow you to make that a little easier. But it's super smooth. I mean, you can see the weight of the handle is enough just to turn the rotor like that. Now, sure, it is a little larger, like I said, but the way the handle is enough, so it's nice and smooth. But let's feel the bail. Shimano bail, I know it well. Feels good. It's got some good assist coming back. Pretty assisted, spring loaded coming forward there. Bail feels great. Let's hear the drag now. Standard sounding Shimano drag, a little bit muffled, but loud enough to know, obviously when a fish is going on a run. But overall, I mean, weight, it's not crazy on it. It's a little heavier because it's a 5K, but it's not bad at all in the hand. But yeah, feels great and it looks phenomenal. So now who's this reel for? I think if you're somebody that, a Stradic 250, 260, whatever size and price you're looking at there is just a little out of reach or a little uncomfortable for you to spend that, I think this is a phenomenal alternative to that. This is mostly a Stradic, not entirely. We're not getting a metal body like the Stradic has, and we're not getting the Duracross drag of the Stradic. And there's a couple bearings difference as well. Stradic has a couple more bearings. But what you get in this reel is absolutely phenomenal. It's an upgrade over the Noski for sure. And you're just getting an extremely, extremely good package. So whether you're throwing, artificials, inshore, redfish, snook, trout, or even some of the lighter offshore stuff, yellowtail snapper, things like that, this is going to be absolutely phenomenal for that. They've got just, 1,000 through 5,000. It can really tie up a lot of things that you're trying to accomplish here with those sizes, and I think it's going to be a great reel. If you guys do want to pick one up, you can check the link right there at tailwatershop.com, and we give 10% back in store credit with every single purchase every day, and this is over $100, so it's going to ship for free to your door as well. But let me know what you think, guys. I love the look of this reel. Like I said, it's great, super smooth in the hand. We want to hear from you. Do you have one? Do you fish them? Let us know down below. Thanks for watching, guys. With that, we'll catch you in the next one.